Fantasy Underdogs here. We're going to wish you a happy Valentine's Day with this segment about spicing up our leagues because God knows we can't spice up your relationship.
Some tips on how to spice up your league. Tip number 1, change your format to 2 QBs.
I like this a lot. You want to know why? Because no one cares about quarterback anymore. These guys score the most points.
I know.
Score the most points.
I know.
Why do they not matter?
Yeah. Well, 2 QB leagues. I mean, there's so many good quarterbacks now. So, you could easily have 2 good QBs on your roster for 12 teams. There's
It changes
at least
the strategy. Like, imagine if we were playing with 1 running back league. Why would you do that? That's so boring. Same thing with quarterbacks. The fact that you can get a really, really good quarterback, like, it's just math at this point. They have no value. We want value added to this position. Make it more scarce. There's no scarcity. There's too many. Everyone, if you're in a 12-team league, you can easily find at least 1 top-tier quarterback.
Yeah, and also just to piggyback off of that, most 12-team leagues, most of those teams have 2 quarterbacks on their roster already.
Anyway,
one
but
of
you're
them's
only
on the
starting
bench,
one,
and you're only starting one.
You should just do both.
Yeah, I think 2 is a good transition, especially the way the league's moving now. Yeah. The second one way to spice up your league is instead of
team tight end.
Yep, team.
I like
tight
that
ends.
just because they get hurt a lot, and it's like it would be cool to just have whether the number 1 or number 2 tight end scored, like you're getting it regardless. So say I'd be like, probably the top one I would go for is Eagles, just because it'd be Zach Ertz and you got Dallas Goedert. Like, that's a great combo. They both get lots of touchdowns, get lots of targets. It's a good combo to have. And just tight end, whereas it's the opposite. There's not enough good ones, whereas it's doing the opposite thing as the 2 QB. It's just consolidating.
Yeah, the tight end position is so scarce these days. Having a team tight end might make it more fun for the position.
It'll boost scoring. That's really what it comes down to. Like, if you put the Colts tight ends together, like, you have a much higher end tight end, and it's more exciting. There's much more scoring going on, and you don't have to worry about, Ebron's hurt or Jack Doyle's hurt. It's like you're at least going to have one. And when one's gone, like, the other one will do good. Which brings us to our next thing. It's changing up the PPR scoring, not just doing the 1.0 points per reception. You're changing it by position. So again, trying to add value to crappy position like tight end. They get 1.5. Running backs will get 1, and wide receivers will get half. Just the reason for that is just, based on who's most likely to get receptions at like a higher volume. So you're trying to balance it out sort of.
Yeah, I like that. That's not a bad thing to do. It's a good, because again, tight end, I mean, they're not very valuable now. I mean, you have one guy, you got to hope he gets more than 0.
You have to draft one of the first 3, or maybe you get lucky outside of that, but that's all you're hoping for, and that's not enough. The fourth thing, and this is probably the most important thing I think you should be doing to spice things up, because frankly, everyone's been doing snake drafts for so long. You've been playing checkers for too long. You got to bump it up to some chess. You got to get things exciting. You got to spice it up. Auction drafting is the way to do that. It is just so different. It's so much more exciting. Every player you have a shot on. Snake, you're not going to necessarily have a chance to get Saquon Barkley because your pick was too late. Everyone should have a chance. You should be able to just bid on whatever your percentage is and get the guy that you want.
Yeah, the auction drafting is definitely a cool concept. Like you said, you get to bid on all players. You have a chance to get anyone, and it's a different strategy way of using dollar amounts. So yeah, it's a good way if you want to spice up your league. Try something new.
Another thing I'd like to talk about is, just to make things interesting, last place punishments. My league, it used to be a pie to the face. I've heard all sorts of things where you have to cross-dress and walk in public with a sign saying, like, I lost fantasy football, or just, like, water bucket, anything. Have you had anything like that?
Not in my league, no, we have not had any like that.
We need to spice things up.
Yeah, we do.
We need to spice things up.
We need to
gotta make it interesting.
Yes, we do. Guys out there, we need to make the league more interesting. Come up with some ideas.
Get exciting. Like, invite me. I'll make it exciting.
Yeah.
And the very last thing, and I think this is the most important thing that we can talk about when it comes to spicing up your league, is drinking and drafting. I think this is something that needs to actually be implemented in leagues where you're of age to drink. I'm just going to say that right now. I think it
enhances your knowledge.
No, Not at all. But it just makes things interesting, and that's the whole idea of this segment. We're spicing things up.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever drank and drafted before?
Of course.
I did not expect that of you. I always expected that you were just like, I'll take like a nootropic and drink plenty of water and like.
I'm not like I get like blitz or anything, but I mean, yeah, I have a couple beers here and there. It's worth it. It keeps the mood.
So that is our segment. I think we're gonna revisit it if we can get ideas from you guys. Maybe you got some other ways that you guys spice up your league. We'd love to hear about it because I think that's the most important thing in this game. You got to keep it interesting. Who wants to play the same game over and over again? You got to change it up. Change the rules just for the sake of changing it. Just because, that's how a good relationship works. You got to keep it interesting. Everything goes in my butt, in my butt. Got to spice up your league in your butt.